Yes, sir.
I saw a lot of books behind you, madam. What is that?
Most respected Director of the IQAC, Professor Arunambi sir. Resource person for the last session, Professor Harindranath sir. Our dynamic participants, good evening to all. Today, I take a pleasure of introducing Dr. Harindranath. He is an associate professor in charge of research from Miyasi Institute of Management, Chennai. He is expert both in academics and in corporate. He is a business manager as well as a trainer. He has delivered lectures on exploratory and confirmatory factory analysis, research methods, journal writing, theory building, and multivariate data analysis, partial least square structural equation modeling, which he is going to handle today. On behalf of the IQAC-ANNAMALAI University, a warm welcome to you, sir. The platform is yours.
Yeah, thank you, madam. Thank you. I think, and some of you may be on the way to their home. I think maybe they are on transit. I have seen people connecting this program in the train. So it's amazing. Ramesh Babu, I think you are doing English, professor of English. I don't know, how can I help you research?
Sir, unable to hear you, sir.
Yes, very much. How about you, madam? Can you able to hear me?
Now it's okay, sir.
Okay, I think I'm going to start. Can I start now?
Yes, sir. Please, sir.
Yeah. I think good evening to all, and you will be after the program. After the college is over, something like that. So I know that the end of the day you will be very tired, and some of them may be traveling. So I have to give a good story so that you don't have to strain yourself. Right. I was talking to you yesterday evening that we can build a model using somebody asking me about conceptual framework, right? Concept. So I can build a theory only with the help of a conceptual framework. Okay. So remember, down in many places, all these things are not known enough. So I think this is required if you want to build a theory, right? If you want to build a theory, you require a conceptual framework. Look at this model. No, I can give a, I'm not given that in the paper, but I've explained in terms of words. So what I will do for this model, so one below as looking at like in a triangle. Good evening, Salokuma. One looking below in the form of a triangle, it's a model. So to build a model, what I require is I require a conceptual framework, right? So what I'll do, I just try to help you, and this is not being taught, and I also found there is not enough paper available. There is no paper available to explain on conceptual framework. So this is something you have to learn. So this is one. I copy paste 2 times, right? So I'll keep it here just above the job satisfaction. I keep it the other one just above the adaptive study. What I'm trying in the box, I'm trying to explain you that you require to have a conceptual framework to build a model. So that is the understanding. To build a model, you need a conceptual. Otherwise, it's very difficult for you to write the hypothesis. Very difficult to write the hypothesis. So what you require? You require a conceptual framework. So this is a paper available with me. If anybody wants, just send a mail, I'll attach. But what is that I have in my mind as a conceptual framework right now? And then I have to connect this. So that is the second step. So I need to connect. So I'll connect this. Like how I connect the model. I have to connect this as well. So I'm connecting here. First one. Right? So this is, this is the other one. Okay. I have to connect this as well. Right? Right. So now what I'm trying to write. I want to write what is called an add text, and I want to write this is an attitude. Attitude. Okay. Attitude. And this is what is called as a behavior variable. Behavior variable or behavioral variable. You can behavior variable. So I put behavior short. And I have as a job outcome. Okay. Job outcome. So the one above what you see, is nothing but a conceptual framework. This is required. Otherwise, it will be very difficult for me to write the hypothesis. Otherwise, I found that many times we don't know what to do, and that it is not really. So what I want you to understand that you require to have a conceptual framework. Otherwise, hypothesis writing will become terrible, right? So this is the conceptual framework available for this particular model, right? I can extend this. If you ask me, is it only one? Yeah, I can extend this. If you just go to, I will take you to one place. I'll take you to a place. I just open and I'll show you. Right. So just people who are in psychology, people who are in HR, remember, there is a person available. Look at this website. It's called arnoldbaker.com. Arnold Baker developed a kind of theory, and that is called as job demand resource theory. Yeah, it is called a job demand resource theory. I think it is here. You should read it. You can see it. I blocked this. See this theory. He developed a theory, and that theory is called job demands resource theory. Right. So this, I think he has written a lot of articles and other things. Okay, he developed a lot of scale. I think now you can see some of the articles. I think he's also given all the article, I suppose. Yeah, I don't know whether he has changed his website. Yeah, see the latest article. He has got a lot of articles. Yes. Yeah. See the article 2022. He has got an article 2022. See that he has got around I think 3 articles in 2022, and it's only not even only February is over. Yeah. Good evening, Vijayalakshmi. Right? See how. See how prolific they are in writing. Okay. So he is in Netherlands. Right? So why I want to, yes, just remember his name is Arnold Baker. Okay, Arnold Baker. His name is Arnold Baker, and the website is arnoldbaker.com. Right, arnoldbaker.com. So he has written a lot on design of job-related stress, job-related resources. Okay. Okay. Now, so he built a framework. So that's what I want to show you. This. Okay. Remember this person. I'll go back to my Word document. I'll try to draw that the model, the framework he has. Right now, so what is that he has? So look at one end. On one end, see this. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So one circle controls. So he says. So I'm trying to build a framework using job demand resource theory. What is called as job demand resource theory. You see a lot of articles. You see a lot of articles on this job demand resource theory. See the flow. I will tell you what is the flow. This arrow indicates a flow. Remember how water flows. Here also there's a flow. Remember, don't see as a figure. Remember, something is flowing from left to right of my page. Okay, left in the sense these two circles, right is this, right? Now I'm going to name them. Name them. Okay, the first one is, for example, the first one is what I call them as, you can see that's job resources. Okay, the second one I call them as job demand. So every job, okay, job demands. Then he says that is the third one. I call this the mediator. So this is an example of a mediation mechanism. Okay. The next is the third one is called job or work engagement. Okay. Now this, let me make it big so that you can see what I wrote here. The other one is the job engagement. So anybody has a doubt, please ask me. That what is that? What is that? How this is used in research? So I like to have a kind of interaction, and I can be very effective if you interact. Right. Okay. So okay. Now the other one, I'll fill the other one. It could be anything. So I put in general. I call this as job outcomes. A lot of job outcomes are available, like in the sense it could be job satisfaction, one. The other one could be life satisfaction. The third one could be job performance, sales performance, and so on. I can think, I can theorize and think any outcome variable. Remember, when you do a thesis or a research, the outcome variable is very important, right? The outcome variable is very important. So entire research revolve around this. So, okay. So what I'll do is I'll block this everything. I'll group this well. Right now, if I look at it, if I look at it, I'll close this. Right now, this is a model. Right now, he says he went on and say that he's telling that if I have a kind of like this, so I'll draw a box here and I'll make it I don't have any fill, so no fill. Yeah, okay. Yeah, this is a line. You can keep it as a line. You don't, I think, you can even remove the line. No outline. I'll add text. I'll add. So add. I say plus. I put a plus, mathematical plus. Okay, I'll make it bolder. I'll make it bigger as well so that you can see this. Right. So similarly, I'll copy this and paste here. And here, and I'll change here as minus. Okay, all these are required, right? If you want to do a set, right? Okay. Oh, wait. So look at this. There's a plus, there's a minus, there's a plus. Okay, there's a plus, there's a minus, there's a plus. If you look at what is this plus, minus, and plus, I think these are required in order to develop your hypothesis, right? So he says that his framework is that he says that job resources will lead to engagement in a positive manner. So which means what is the meaning of plus here? The more the job resources, the more will be the engagement. So if I have engagement more, then possibly my job outcome will be. So this the flow will be from here to here, then here to here. Okay. Similarly, here also the job demands. Okay. Job demands lead to engagement, and then engagement lead to job outcomes. So I can have a flow. Just think again. Again, this is an example of mediation. So the mediating variable is a job engagement. The mediating variable is a job engagement. Right. I will show you the analysis also.
Sir.
Right? Yeah.
Sir.
Yes. It's a simple system theory model with input output. Nesamani, what do you mean by simple system theory with input, throughput, and output? Can you explain? I think these are very simple. If I explain, I think you will understand. These are very. Okay. I think the host can. I think please unmute. Sailila ma'am, please unmute. Somebody, please unmute them. Somebody, once you use it, immediately you unmute as well.
Yes, sir. We'll do it, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Recording in progress.
Sir?
Yeah. Yes. Tell me. I
Yes,
think. Yeah. Tell me, somebody.
Yes,
What
sir.
is that?
Sir, simple system theory is nothing but when we are experimental research. So we used to give the manipulation, like we used to give the teaching. So what we used to do, like input, we have to show it in the model. Like input, we used to give the we used to take the pre-test
Okay.
and the teaching method that we are using, and after we used to conduct the post-test. So we used to take the Brittany's this theory, simple system theory we used to for the model. So that I want how to make this one.
Say I think you are in the education domain, I suppose.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. I am not an expert in education domain. I think you are the one who are expert. Okay. In fact, what you said about theory, what I am trying to tell you is I'm trying to make you comfortable with my domain knowledge. I am making you comfortable with the domain knowledge of a conceptual framework. That particular conceptual framework, you can use that in your domain as well. It is a kind of broad outlook, where considering Model is something very specific, but the conceptual framework is slightly broader. You can adopt in any domain you work. Any domain you work, you can adopt this concept. I'm just giving a common example which all of us can understand. So that is my motto, because I understand the scholars sitting here are from different domains. So very difficult for me to talk about. Even I don't know even finance, even though I'm an MBA faculty. I don't know about finance domain. You understand? Once you go into the stream, we go only depth. We don't go broader. So that is the reason that I don't know your domain. But what I'm attempting here to explain conceptual framework with a simple model, which all of us can understand. So what I am suggesting, by learning how it is in one domain, you can adopt in your domain as well. So this is the attempt I am trying to make. Okay. Thank you so much for coming and talking to me. Thank you. Now the other one. Now look at the job resources. If you look at the job resources, for example, I can have lot. I can have many job resources available. For example, I think bonus, for example, bonus. I don't know how many colleges are giving bonus. I don't know. Okay, bonus are one example of job resource. Sometimes your HOD itself is a job resource. If he or she is going to make you difficult, the HOD for you could be a job resource, right? Right. The flexibility of, for example, the flexi working time. Many places they have a flexi working time. Okay, flexi time in working. You can come and log in, and then you require only 7 is inside the campus, something like that, and you can go. That could be a job resources for any of us, right? And so on. If salary again, a salary in the sense a good salary, could be a job resources. So a lot of job resources can think of, right? Okay, now you will understand that I can also use this theory in my, you can also, the students, for example, there's so many students, for example, they have a lot of resources. The library is a good resources, possibly. Okay, the good teaching method or a good teacher could be another resources, right? And then flexible atmosphere inside the campus, free learning, a group assignment, all this could be. Yeah, Divya, I think the nice question. I think it is not the framework. It is not the framework of anybody else. It is the framework of a person called Arnold Baker. I think if you go, he does a lot of work in psychology, and wrote a framework. It is his framework. So I'll write the name. Write the name of the person. His name is Arnold Baker. So Arnold Baker. Okay, not the actor Baker. Arnold. So he's a pure academician like you and me, right? So if you just go to his site, www.arnoldbaker.com, you can see writing about this particular thing, right? So right now, so see, any job you are in, there is a job resources and job demand. It could be salary, it could be the HOD, nice HOD who understands the scenario. It could be bonus, it could be flexi working time in your campus, or it could be a nice canteen, it could be free food in the during lunch. All this could be a job resources for you. Okay, but you have job demand. That is unfortunate. You also have job demand, right? It could be more sessions. Okay, I know some people they handle 5 sessions per day and 7th session. The entire number of hours is 7 or 8. You will have 5 sessions. More sessions could be a stress, right? Less salary could be another issue. Okay, all these are we are faculties exposed to all these problems. Okay, and so on. There are a lot of job demand, very rigid management. Okay. Very rigid management is another issue. So we also expose a lot of job demand as well. Remember this. Okay. See the difference I made. I know all these are job resources, so I just give a heading. So remember the number of Here, job demand. Yeah, this is also a kind of no. It's a broad. It's very broad. I can have anything. Depend upon the context I have. Right? You have a job resource. You have a job demand. Any job under the sun has this. Look at. Think about it. Any job. Maybe your husband job. Yeah, he would have told you number of job demands. Would have told you that there is this month onward, there is no cab facility for me. It is a job demand. So now he has to make his own way to commute to his office. Okay, so job demands also there. Many jobs. Some companies cut their bonus, yeah, due to some reasons. Okay, so remember the way we theorize or the way we hypothesize. These job resources influence positively job engagement. So if I have a job engagement in place in my office, okay, in my workplace, then the people are very happy. They like to do the job. This is the job they want. So when I have a job resources more, then possibly the job engagement level goes up. If the job engagement level goes up, the job outcome also goes well. People are satisfied with the job. The performance inside the class for a faculty goes up. If you are a researcher, yes, if you get a lot of, like for example, even I say, I think I want to put this, I want to sensitize you. This. I don't know how many of you know this. Okay, I call this publication incentives. Okay, I think this is a good job resource. Okay, publication incentives. A publication incentives is a good job resource. I can say it's a good job resource. Okay. I hope you can see now. Incentives, sorry. Incentives. So publication incentives. Now, I want to tell you that a place like IIM, if you have one A-star category paper, you know how much they pay? Can anybody guess and put in the chat box? If you have published one A-star paper, okay, in management, like IIM Ahmedabad or IIM Bangalore, you know how much they pay? How much they pay incentives for faculties? Are you aware of this? I don't know how many of them are aware of it. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So please tell me what could be the possible amount. So now publication incentives. Publication incentives is no, Subhash, you don't know. I'll tell you. Anybody has an idea? Subhash has told me that no. I know for sure that I know a faculty who is an assistant professor in IIM Ahmedabad. He built an house because of just publication incentives. Remember, everywhere they ask you to publish, but nothing has been given. Nothing has been given. If you look at the way the ISB is operating, Indian School of Business at Hyderabad. Yeah, it is more than a lakh. I'll tell you. I'll disclose it very shortly. ISB, Indian School of Business operating at Hyderabad. They pay assistant professor, I think, to the extent of 35 lakhs per annum. 35. They don't get good faculties. This is a kind of demand you have in the market on one side. Okay, on one side. And if you don't have any A publication or ASR publication, your job will be job will not be there. Okay. Okay. Now I'll tell you the publication of if I have a A-star paper, I have 16 lakhs incentives. Check it up if I am right or wrong. In IIM Ahmedabad. If I have two A papers, I can walk for an interview in IIM. I can walk for an interview. Okay, forget about the quota and other things. That is that. Walk for an interview in IIM. I'm putting it. 2A paper, I can walk for an interview in IIM. Only if you want 2A paper. 3 is fine. As a first author or a second author. First author is ideal. Right? Now, so publication incentives. So I have an opportunity while teaching this. There is something going on around you. I just want to sensitize. Okay? Don't go and fight with your management. It will come to most places as days goes. So publication incentives is a job resources. So more the publication incentives, the people feel that I have a good job resource at the present working place or as a present college or present firm I am employed, right? But remember, on the other hand, as I just mentioned you, there is always a job demand, right? For example, if I'm getting a publication incentives, I also have a job demand stress. Like for example, I need to publish. If I don't publish, my job will be not there. So I need to publish as well. Okay. Remember, the job demand is negatively influences job engagement. Okay. Negatively influences the job engagement. This is how we used when you write an hypothesis. We say the relationship between job demands and job engagement is negative or is negatively related. Okay. So this framework, it will help you to write hypothesis like that. Okay. Without this framework, I may not be able to do it. So there's a lot of work available on JDR model, job demand resource model. And this is an example of a framework. This is required to develop a model on your own. Otherwise, it will be very difficult for you. You can have any outcome. So as I have given an example here for job resource, like here also, I can have any income, any outcome, any job outcome suitable for you. It could be students' academic performance. It's an outcome variable. So I can even remove and make it very generic as outcomes. I can have outcomes, outcome variable. Okay. It could be students' academic performance. Maybe if there is more job resources for the faculty, possibly the outcome will also go up substantially. So that you can prove that by this model, that I can, by this theory, you can prove. Possibly you can hypothesize then that if I have more job resources in place, possibly I can have more job outcomes. It could be your publication outcome, it could be your academic outcome. You are in the sense of your students' academic outcome and so on. So this is how a theoretical framework will work, right? If you, I want to tell you, I'm not going to software. I think you would have noticed many of you will be cursing me. Why not you're not going to software? Oh, what is the A paper? Right. It's a good question. Huh? Yeah. Right. All right. I'll explain Subhashini. I'll explain what is the A paper. Yeah, so I don't go much to the software because I know there are a lot of things we need to be basics should be very strong. And I also want to tell you and inform you that the software is a mechanical device. It does not have any brain. You can click, and to learn that there are a number of videos are available. You don't have to worry about that. Okay, Amos, there's a lot of videos. Your smart PL has a lot of videos available, right? So the expertise we talk is something very strange. We synthesize and give it to you, and that is what very important for you, right? Now I think somebody asked you what is an A paper. Huh? So I think I have something to show you what is an A paper. Remember, I am in management. I think many of them are in education. Education domain is the domain I used to borrow a lot of things on statistical techniques and other things. It's a very rich domain. There are some papers are available. I think AERA papers are, I like AERA papers. AERA means American Education Research Agency or Association. So AERA is a very big body, and it's got a lot of very good journal articles. If you're a psychology and psychologist, I have APA journal, American Psychology Association journal, and so on, right? Now, okay. Thank you, Tyagaraj. Now I'll tell you. Somebody asked me about this journal. What is this? Okay, I'll open a journal and show you journal list and show you that. Okay. So the question is, what is the question by one of you? It says that what is that and what is that A category? Okay. Now I'll go to that particular place and just tell you that. So remember in India. So I think I'm talking about management. Such things are available for other domains as well. In management, for example, we follow, most of the colleges follow, and most of the universities follow the IIMs. Maybe in engineering, they follow IITs. In management, what we follow is IIMs, right? Right. Now, look at this. Look at this. I hope you can see this. I suppose you can see the screen, Excel screen. Now you see that on the top. I'll write that in the chat box. What is that? The chat box. Yeah. Everyone. It's called Australian. Awesome. And you can try that in your Google as well. You can simultaneously Australian Business Dean Council. Right. It is what is called as ABDC. I don't know how many of you. It is popular in management. Don't think that I am trying to tell you what I know in management. It is not that. What I want to tell you, there is a list available everywhere. Like you have a UGC list. You have for everything, there's a list available in every domain. So remember, if you don't know now, no problem. But I'm now sensitizing you that there is a journal list available, and this journal lists are followed in different journalists are followed in different part of the world. For example, the Australian Business Dean Council journalist, it's been followed in Asia Pacific region. So if you go to, for example, now if I want to have a career around Middle East, for example, yeah, this is good. This is good. This list is good. They follow this in Middle East, Australia, New Zealand. They follow this. Okay. But remember, this is not, the entire world does not follow this. It's an Australian Business Dean Council journalist, right? For example, I'll show you the other one. Okay, I'll show you the other one. So I'm just taking your depth in management, cautioning you that if you don't know about this, then you are not a complete researcher. You should know all the outlets, how it is functioning across. Now let me take to the one. This is followed in Asia Pacific. Now I'll show you a list, the same management list, which is widely followed in Europe, UK, and other countries, right? So somebody want to go for a job like Canada, for example. Okay, I'll go to that particular list. Okay, now what is called as CABS, CABS, CABS business, CABS. You can see the heading on my Excel sheet. CABS journalist is 2019. CABS. So this is followed in Europe. So if you want to go to migrate to Europe and US and other things, this list could be more. But remember, the one more thing that this list are not disjoint. They are not completely different from one another. No. Take for example, I'll put a control F. I put a control F. Okay, control F. I put a control F, and I want to tell you, I have published in Journal of Business and Industrial Marketing. So this is a paper I published in 2000. I think I was discussing yesterday also about this paper. Journal of Business and Industrial Marketing. Let me see whether this is available here. Yeah, it is available here. So what is the list? Is a CABS list. It's a CABS list. It is, so this is available in CABS list. Okay, now next one. What it is under? What it is available in CABS list? You can see it is 2, not 3. Yeah, 3 is bigger. So it is consistently following. See this number, right? It is consistently have 2, which means it's a consistent journal. The Journal of Business and Industrial Marketing is a consistent journal, right? It's a very consistent journal. So it's performing over a period of time very well. And 9, 10, 15, 18. This is consistently performing very well. So it's available in a list called ABDC list. Sorry, CABS list. Okay. See, it's very popular. The CABS list. Note down and see if somebody want to go to other place, and if you want to give guidance to people who want to go to Canada or other place. Yeah, this is a list been widely followed. Right. Next, let me go to the other list, which is popular in our place. The list is called ABDC list. Okay, ABDC list. I am going to search. Sorry, I've gone to this. Yeah, I'm going to go to the ABDC list. See this ABDC list. Okay. Now I want to put same control F and see whether this journal, the same journal available here. not able to pick up, I think. I'll put different search word. Next. You can see here it's available. I'm not able to get because and is given as ampersand. So that's the reason that search. See, it is available. And you can see people, I think I want to tell to Subhash, see it is given as A. See, it is given as A. So I think I'll block this. This A category, even if you want to, you can try that in your own Google, go to ABDC list and copy paste this particular name. You can see A category journal, A category journal. I not this. I also not only A I have. I also have a B. I have a B in ABDC. It's called promotion management. Promotion management. I have a paper called Journal of Promotion Management, which according to ABDC is see this paper. See, it's a B category paper. So likewise, each domain. Please understand that a lot of journal list available, which has been followed in larger part of the world. So try to pick up that particular list and start working on that. Do not fall prey for some other predatory journal which collect money and publish. That's it. So you can see, understand. So if it's a good journal, it is available in most of the list. Right? Recently in 2021, 2021, myself, I have published in what is called as energy policy. We'll see energy policy is available here. Yeah. But energy policy is what, A or B? Yeah, it's a category journal. Yeah, so I want to admit that I don't have an A star. I'm keen to look. See the below, just above journal. It is called energy economics, which is the A star journal. So somebody is in energy and economics. So it's an A star. I only have A paper. I don't have an A star. If I have A star, I would be blessed. I don't have that. I tried. I'm not able to get this. I think my standard is not enough to write A star. I need to develop on that. Right. Thank you. This is just to explain on the journalist. This is a big world by itself, right? Big world by itself. Scopus is one. Then you have Web of Science. Many countries and for example, the NBA accreditation, NIRF ranking, and the NAC committee. Now they look for Scopus. So Scopus is other index. Okay, understand all these things. It is like this. It is like this. Yeah, product price. Yeah, that promotion. Yeah, Suhasini, you're right. I have that promotion only. Product price. 4 piece. Yeah, this even this Journal of Promotion Management paper I published. I have a model. I'll show you that model. I think then I'll go to the other one. I have a model in that, and then I have. I'll show you the paper. I'll open the page as well, and then I'll show you what model I have and how it. I'm just searching, and I want to just. Don't think I'm wasting your time. I'm just searching. Kindly excuse me. Yeah. So people ask me whether I used a model. Yeah, I just want to tell you. So look at this model. I'll open the Journal of Promotion Management. Let's see what. So anybody want, I can send this. It's not a paper, but a B itself is good. Huh? Please understand. If you publish B and in a place like Great Lakes Institute of Management, they give you 3 lakhs. So IIM will be giving around something around 3 lakhs. So it has got 5 iterations. R1, R2, R3, R4, R5. The 5 iterations right now. See the model I developed. And then I solved using Sem. So I think if somebody wanted just put a test man, I will give you this as well. Myself and I have an author at Great Lakes Institute of Management. We both. So this is how the paper is, right? This is a B paper. Now I think this is just an outside. I think yes. Yeah, you want an hypothesized model? Yeah, I think this is like this in an hypothesis model. How an hypothesis been built in this paper. I said that this is the H1. First, I said this particular promotional support given to salesperson influences sales performance. And this is H1. The H2 is the same promotional support given to salesperson increase their sales effort. And then the sales effort increases or enhances positively the salesman performance. Sales, okay, this is an example of a mediation. I've solved it using mediation. For example, this sales effort is a mediator on the relationship between these two, PIPs and sales performance. Similarly here also. This is how I theorized. Okay, I've theorized as this is a resource given to salesperson, and then it leads to outcome through some mediation mechanism. This is how I solved. I think I've spent some time. I think it took 1 year for me to complete the review. With a lot of questions, and finally look at the table I have. See, this is the measurement model or the confirmatory factor analysis result. Okay, yeah, the model begin with this PIPs. PIPs means, I'll tell you in a layman's language. I think you would have gone to doctor many a times, and you see that salespeople are waiting, medical representatives are waiting. You remember that these people will have some bag. In that bag, you can see a lot of gifts. Could be pen, pad, it could be free drug sample. I perceived that as PIPs. Perceived impact of promotional support. How that influences the sales performance. This is how I have developed. I have developed a scale as well. And this is the questions. No, this in front of you are the scales. It's something new. I took some time in developing those questions, and I found the items loadings are good enough, and the composite reliability is good. The average variance extracted is good. Indicates this as reliability and validity. Remember, I want to tell. I think I forgot to tell. The entire research we build, irrespective of the domain, is based on classical test theory. And classical test theory says the two important pillars of classical test theory is reliability and validity. So remember this. If your study does not show these two, reliability and validity, then it will be very difficult for you to publish anything. So I need to show reliability and validity, right? So this AV, for example, look at this table. AV is called average variance extracted. So what I'll do is I square individually, add them, and divided by the number of items. I think 6 here. I get 0.62 if I do it, and that is what is called as convergent validity. So the different forms of validity are available. You must be very well versed, irrespective of the domain. So any research you do and you collect data for the research. So what I meant is empirical research. If you are going for empirical research, then it is always required to understand that you work under classical test theory. We call them as CTT, classical test theory. And classical test theory requires two things, two pillars, not two things. I would say there's two pillars. The one is the reliability, the other is the validity. So both are required to establish your empirical results. Otherwise, no good paper will take you. So you need to establish. Remember one more thing that many good papers are asking for data. So you need to submit your data, right? So do not do anything, fudging of data, other things. It will be very difficult. They block you as an author. They call it, okay. So remember that. So you'll be very careful in giving the data, and do not try to play with them. So they are very they will not consider. They will not say anything. If you submit a paper, the desk rejection will come. Remember, if I know B2B marketing, for example, there are only 4 top Redditor across the world. If they communicate to each other, I won't be able to publish anything on B2B. I cannot migrate to some other domain very soon. It takes a lot of time. And they will talk, and they know that this author is known for certain nonsense. So they will not publish. So remember that. Always remember that. Do not. So ethical consideration while writing manuscript is very important. So why I'm telling you now, after seeing this table, I remember one of the reviewer asked for data. So I need to submit the data also. After 5 revision, Remember, it's not a big journal. It's not A star or A, B only. It's only B. Still, they want 5 revision. So remember, as a mother creating this baby, this particular paper, so I don't want to leave it somewhere. I have to have a 5 revision. Then finally, I'll put that in a good school completed. Then my job is over. So this is got complete. Now this has got a few citations, 5, 6 citations goes on. This is how the research process. So it is like giving a baby. We spent really 6 to 9 months, like how many of the females here are done. And then we give birth to a baby, and that baby has to be safe, and that baby has to be paka. It's like how you upbringing your kid to teach them a lot of ethics. Similarly, you're also paper. And this, even if I'm not available in the world, this papers will be available. That kind of satisfaction only we have, right? It could be emotional, but I think it is what we have. Okay, Anandulu Ravu. Okay, that's a good question. Anandulu Ravu. I think nobody is asking that question. Yeah, I like it. I like it, Anandulu. Thank you, Ravu. I don't know how to call you. Your name is big. Yeah, anyway, I like your name as well. Now, I'll just go to, please understand, this is something not known. So, and I'm also not a big expert, but remember, what is the research we do as a bigger umbrella, very big umbrella, and that umbrella, okay, is called classical test theory. CTT. And I think I just mentioned you, it works on many validity, reliability, and validity. So reliability and validity. Okay, this is the 2 things it works on. So what I'll do, I'll establish reliability and validity. Classical test theory. Okay, this is one way of doing your research. You can follow this like what I have done in my paper. I followed the classical test theory. Students in education domain, I don't know what Raghu domain is. I have not seen what is this domain. I don't know what domain you are, Raghu. I hope you are in your education. Yes, I thought. Education domain is one domain. Okay, one domain uses item response theory. Remember, item response theory. Yeah, I can use both. I can use any one of them. But people say that item response theory is having much wider facility, okay, in research than the classical test theory, because classical test theory is slightly old. So if I have a choice, I think I would like to use, so if I want to establish my empirical validity, empirical results, so I should use any one of them. So what we use now, predominantly many of them uses classical test theory. The education domain, for example, uses the item response theory. There are a lot of software available, and then you can under each, there are different methods, different models are available using this item response theory. And once the data has been collected, for example, based on the data, you can really know what you can think of. You can really use a particular model for a particular. For example, if I collect a Likert scale model, I think some gradient point, something like that is a method I can use it and analyze. So I'm just sensitizing you again in a program like this. I can only sensitize some of the topic like framework, and list. Somebody asks me what is the list. Yeah, you have to be very careful with the list. And then somebody asked me about IRT is one particular place. So you start developing. If somebody is very young and they want to migrate, want to explore, I think item response theory is one good place. Now, a lot of paper I have also seen. I have also seen a lot of paper comparing these two. So what they do, they validate the scale. They validate the scale, for example. Well, if I want some paper, I'll say validate the scales. Well, scales in the sense a set of questions. Both using both. What is both? The both in the sense classical test theory and IR. So they are you can do that, but it's not a big contribution. But remember all this. But there are a lot of freewares are available, softwares are available. I think even Jamovi is one software you can use it to use for item response theory, right? So remember, you are all this day somebody find Cronbach alpha, for example. Many of you go and report Cronbach. It comes under classical test theory. But what I am talking to you and what Raghu want to know is an item response theory. Now, I think the GMAT question, for example, the GMAT question, the GRE questions, they check each question importance. They study how many of them across the world answer, which question they have not answered. All this analysis been made using IRT approach. Okay, so I think this is very important for people in education domain. Very important. Like for example, econometric models are widely used for economists in economic research. Similarly, IRT-based research are used in education domains, widely used. So you can say which particular question is tough in a university paper. All these things, all this analysis can be made using IRT. Okay. Right. Okay, so there are two broad approaches. Remember, so when you teach somebody else, remember what the two broad places of research. Okay, so it's up to you to choose. Okay, which one, and both are important. And some of them, CTT is very old, very long. I think when it starts from Nunali, I think in 1970. Nunali work is, let's see, Nunali put it Google Scholar. He uses what is called, he says that what is called as psychometric theory. So from there, I think it starts the classical test theory. Okay. Right. So there is a two the two approaches you have. I think if somebody, there are papers I can also show you that has used CTT as well as I don't know whether I can show you immediately, but I remember I think. I'll show you one paper about how people have used CTT versus. Look at the paper. It's my friend written, and this particular author is XLR. See, fear of COVID. I think everybody can do this. Everybody knows what is the fear of COVID, and that particular scale has been tested using two approaches. One is classical test theory. I just told you. A classical test theory, reliability, validity, and the other is item response theory. I think this is all the COVID paper are free. I think just note down this paper if you are interested. Remember, in education, people who are in education domain, you are the one who have to follow this very closely than the others. So remember that. I see this paper. It's a validation of then they use some methods. I have not read the paper. I only read the abstract. So if somebody cannot find, please give it to, send it to me. I can attest the author. Okay. Right. So let me go to the one I have. I also want to show you maybe a glimpse of only a glimpse of PLS. I want to open a PLS Sem. I have showed you yesterday a covariance based Sem. Now I'll show you and open a PLS based Sem. I think now I'm going to take you one particular software. One particular software. Okay. I think. Yeah. Look at the software. So what is that I'm doing? I'm trying to help you on. I'm trying to help you on partial least square set. I was talking to you yesterday that there are three forms of Sem. One is covariance based Sem. The other is partial least square and the Bayesian approach. Okay, at least I'll show you that. How it, many of them, I think, I don't know how many of them seen this. Okay, I'll open one particular. Okay. Yeah. I think it's small. Yeah, I think you can see this. I hope you can see it. Yes. I hope you can see this model. See, model says like this: quality leads to satisfaction, and satisfaction leads to loyalty, and image of the brand leads to satisfaction, and then competition, and so on. I think this is if you understand this based on American consumer satisfaction index. We call them shortly as ACSI model. ASCI model, right? So what I'll do here, you can look at the calculation. There are so many options are available. There are so many options are available, but what I want now is a PLS algorithm. So I just want a PLS algorithm. I want to run this algorithm, right? Okay, I want to run. Yes, running is run. Finish. You can see a lot of values have come. You can see a lot of values have come, and these values are nothing but beta coefficient or regression coefficients. Or people don't understand this too. These are coefficient. These are coefficient which tells you that the extent of the strength of relationship, for example, between satisfaction and loyalty. At 5, 6, 7, it indicates the strength of relationship. Then the obvious questions for you is: so what is the highest level? What is the lowest level? A beta could be a maximum of 1, and beta could be -1. That's all. This is strength. The higher the beta is better. I think something like 0.56 is good enough. Okay. So what I did, I opened a model. So this is a model, and all this yellow are questions. All this yellow are questions. So I can have anywhere I want in the canvas. So I can have anywhere I want in the canvas. You can get this software free. You can download and you can play with that before you collect the data. What is this? This is a SEM model. What is the SEM? Yeah, I have a conceptual framework. Based on the conceptual framework, I developed a model, and then I collected the data, and that is the stage I am in. So I have done all the literature review, build a conceptual framework or build a model. So I can do whichever way I want, where the conceptual framework first or the model first. So you won't be able to get a linear way. So I built a model, then I collected data with the help of a questionnaire or secondary data. Then I build this model and I'm running in there. So that is the stage. I'm going to complete my research. Right? I'm going to complete my research. Yeah, thank you. Right? I'm going to complete. This is the stage. I just have to write the result. Before that, I've completed the hypothesis. Before collecting the data, I've completed everything. You can also write afterwards. The best way is write before, and you will be very sure what to do. Right? This is about this is about the PLS algorithm. But remember, PLS algorithm is used to get the data as beta coefficient, or the regression coefficient, or the path coefficient, whatever you call it. Right? I am not able to get my p-value. The p-value only tells me that the relationship is significant or not significant. Now let me go to the paper and tell you where I report this. Right? Look at this value. Look at this value before going to the paper. 0.7. All these are loadings. All these are loadings. Okay. The loading is poor. Slightly poor. 558. Ideally, I want to have somewhere around 0.7 and above. On an average, 0.7 and above. Here, look at this. This is the PRQ2 is slightly low. If you look at it, whether you can see that I don't have a lens like Amos. A 0.591. I can make it bigger if you want. I hope it is working. Yeah, it is. There's a zoom in this. Yeah. Look at this value here. Look at this value here. Oh, look at this value here. All these values are good, above 0.7, only 1. But still I keep it because my average is not going to affect much bigger, because I have a item which has got a loading of 0.8 and 0.85, close to 0.85. So I don't mind of eliminating this. I don't require to do it because if I take an average, is better, it's good, right? So this is what is called as a item loading. And what I see here, this particular place, 0.491, 0.032. This is a very small regression beta coefficient. See, it's minus 0.008. Okay, if I use the job demand and job resource, job engagement model, I will have a negative place for job demand, like how it is. So what I proposed in hypothesis, I should get here as an outcome. So that is why, look at my first slide. This must be when I talked in the first slide, long back, I think, sorry, 2 days back, I told you that there must be a compatibility between data and model. There's no compatibility, right? So all these are loading of item loadings, and these are beta coefficients. Those are two things. Forget about this is all R square. Right? What is inside the circle? In the blue circle inside, that particular value is R square, right? This does not have R square because this does not have any arrow coming and meeting. So it does not have an R square. You can see others have all R square, right? Whichever there is an arrow flows towards it, like this. A very high R square. Okay. If you ask me R square, economics people like this R square very much. In social science, we don't give much value, much emphasis on R square. But in econometrics, the R square, they want R square of 0.9 and 0.95, which means that theory building is good enough. If they do it in an econometrics model, if you say that my R square is only 30, they laugh at you. Okay. So for econometrics, they require a very high R square, which means it is evident that you picked up all the relevant variable, all the relevant independent variable in predicting the outcome variable or the dependent variable. Okay. So this is R square. The three things are available: item loadings, beta coefficient, and R square. That's all. In the blue is R square. In the yellow is an item loading, and between this a relationship beta relationship strength is also given. Right. Now I'll go to the paper. I'll stop this and I'll go to the paper, and again I'll come back. I'll show you where, for example, my B paper. I think I have not closed it. See this, see here, all these are item loadings. All these are item loadings, which I showed you that in the yellow color. No, before that you can see all item means each questions has a common loading with the construct. That's why it's called item loading. You can see all the item loadings are good enough in my study. All are 0.7 and above, right? Okay, now I think I've used, I don't know whether I think I have to tell you what is it I used. I forgot what I used here. Yeah. I don't know what. Yeah, okay, I think I'll tell you later. So this is the item loading. Yeah? This is an item loading. This item loading, and this is a composite reliability, which is similar to Cronbach alpha, which you know. And this is average variance extracted. It's a measure for convergent validity. Average variance extracted is a measure for convergent validity. This is how this is how study. Okay, this is only a measurement model, so there is no structural model results. The structural model results are given down. I think I'll show you the other results table. So we have to mention here. See this relationship. This is also a measurement model. I think the last table is the. I think yeah. See this. See the standardized path curve is a beta. See the statistics, and this asterisk indicates a p-value. If there is 2, 3, it is less than p less than 0.001. There's a 2 asterisk means 0.01. NS means not significant. You see in one particular relationship, there is no p-value, which means that particular relationship is insignificant. So even though I hypothesize it's insignificant. and that particular hypothesis is not supported. So whatever so do not put that under the cart. Even if your finding says that it is not supporting, show that. Don't try to hide. The editor, reviewer are experts in the domain. They have seen umpteen number of papers, much more than what we see on a daily basis. So whatever you have in which is true, show them in the day. This selling effort, many top paper has been considered as supported relationship. I am telling not supported. There's a journal of marketing paper I know it says supported. So I need to go against. So it is difficult. But whatever finding is that you need to really you won't be able to put under the cart. You need to show them the results, actual results. Right? So this is how we finally do this, and then we say whichever hypothesis, what is the independent variable, what is the dependent variable coefficient, and then your work must be neat. All these things must be very neat. They'll give you 2 to 3 times to review after the final, and then okay. I'll go back to the software, right? I'll go back to the software and run. Okay. This is the item loading I showed you, and this is the coefficient, and this is now I don't have a t statistics. Okay, now I have to run. You look at what I do. I go to again calculate in the smart PLS software. This is smart PLS software. The version now is 3.2.3.3 or something like that. Now what I'll do, I'll run what is called as a bootstrapping. Okay. So I open a canvas called bootstrapping. What is the subsample you want? So I want say 5,000 subsamples. Okay. I want 5,000. The default given is 500. So what I want is 5,000. Yeah, I put 5,000. I will explain what is bootstrapping. I will explain what is bootstrapping. So the 5,000 sample. Remember, I have citation support for 1,000, 2,000, and 5,000. I think even 10,000. 1, 2, 5, 10. If you want to do on your own, say 1,500 or 1,800, there is no citation support. Okay. Yeah, I'll answer this question. I will answer. Okay. So 5,000 samples are 5,000 samples. So 5,000 subsamples. So even my sample is around 300. It will generate 5,000 samples. I'll repeat it. Even if my sample size is what I have collected is only 300. I can generate to the extent of 5,000 subsamples or 5,000 samples. That is the indication is 5,000. If I put 2,000, it gives you 2,000 samples, subsamples. Okay. Okay. Now, I'll explain about bootstrapping later. Okay. Why I am using this? I got the item loading beta coefficient. I didn't get in the PLS analysis, which I did just now. I have not got the t statistics. So I want the t statistics and the p value, probability value. P value means probability value. Now I run this. Run the analysis. Right. Now it takes some time. Huh? You can see it takes some time because I put 5,000. So it takes time to build. If you have a fast processor like Apple, then it will run faster. See, I think now you can look at this. Look at the value now. Right? Look at the value. See here, the t statistics is 5.9. What I require is about 2, exactly 1.96. So I have 5. This is good. See, this is also good, 3.88. This is gone. Huh? This 0.277 is gone. I want about 2. It is not even 0.2. Oh yeah, it is very close to 0.3. Right? So this is gone. Even 0.119 gone. 1.190 gone because I want 2 and above. This is good. Huh? 2.2 is good. This is very good. This is damn good. This is very, very doubtful case. 1.906, very close to say it's accepted. Very, very marginally it's significant. This is how I have collected the t statistics. And this all got t statistics. Now look, go to the paper. Now go to the paper and see the t statistics. You can get it. This is see the t statistics here. See the statistics in the journal paper. So each one we have to pick and write and write and write. Right? Now, this is you can look at the table here. See the T statistics, the entire column. See the T statistics in the entire column. Entire column. One is not supported. Yeah. Right? Now I want to tell you that we were discussing on the mediation. Then I will also go to and tell you the results. Right? This is a mediation results I got it. So where is the mediation in this paper? In this paper, there is a mediation available, and that mediation is here. Yeah, I'll show you this mediation. Look at this paper here. See the paper. There is a sales effort is a mediator. Okay, sales effort is a mediator. Salesmanship is a mediator. Right? There are two mediators in between, and this is something like a parallel model. One mediator run like this, the other mediator run in parallel, running in parallel. I call this a parallel mediation model. Right? If you want to know more about this, you just go to Hayes and see. I just put the name of the author. You just go to Hayes, Hayes, Hayes for mediation. I think mediation. I don't have time to tell you that. Just note down Hayes. Okay. So this is a mediation. The mediators are middle people, middle person. See, the middle person is sales effort and salesmanship. Right? I need to now understand. Now think this is, you can see that you can see physically as a diagram that sales effort and salesmanship skill are in the middle of two people, pips and the sales performance. Right? So this is a mediator. Now the question is how I have to solve the mediator. Whether the mediator influence is there in the model or not, that you need to establish. Now remember, you must understand that what is a mediation mechanism? The effect of this variable flows to this final variable, salesperson performance, through a mediator. The communication, the transmission of this effect is coming via this mediation variable. Please understand that. So that is, don't look at an abstract. It will be an abstract for you. Remember that there's a mediator, and that the independent variable or the first variable. I named here the first variable as PIPS, perceived impact of promotional support. This effect of this variable has to go to the salesperson performance through sales effort and salesmanship skill. You understand? I hope you understand. That is how you should look at it. Right? The effect flows from the left to the right through the mediators. Right? Which means the effect will flow. If I have my compliments with me, okay, if I have my free drug sample with me, then I can have better salesmanship skill, thereby my sales performance increases. This is how the mediation hypothesis works. I'll repeat it. How? Look at the below. I'm just telling you for the below. Okay, below arrow. Pips to salesmanship. I say if I have promotional inputs with me, like gifts, samples, and free drug samples and other things I have with me, that will increase the salesmanship skill. And because I try to convince the physician or the doctor in a much more better way, thereby the salesperson performance, the prescription flows out will be better. This is how I have the hypothesis. Right. Now, let me go to the table. How a mediation mechanism table is there. The mediation table, we normally give them separately. We normally give them as a mediation table. This is a measurement model. The end, you can see the last table normally is you can look at this table. I named them as the mediation output. What is the conceptual framework for purchase intention for a product? Yeah, you can. If you want to do a conceptual framework, Divya, if you want to do a conceptual framework for purchase intention, use what is called as, I'll put it, TPP model. the theory of planned behavior. Check panni paaruங்க. We call them as TPP model. Try this model. This is for not for everybody. This is for I think who asked this. I think yeah, this is for Divya. Try this. Try some studies. SP is a direct effect, SCS are indirect effect. Yeah, the indirect effect comes. Supposedly, the indirect effect comes because see the indirect effect. Yeah, the PIPs will have an effect on salesperson performance indirectly through the mediators. So there is a direct effect as well as indirect effect. Yeah, right. I think so. In mediation, we see both. We are interested in mediation more on indirect effect, right? So I see the indirect effect I mentioned in the table. You can also read the table and understand the indirect. So this is there. See the PIPs through here. So I am predicting the PIPs. So predicting the sales performance through selling skill. Okay, you can see here the T statistics are all about 2, so no issues. And one more thing I put it here. This is recommended. If you have a mediation, if you want to do a mediation analysis, you must report what is called as confidence interval approach. Right? Your result should have confidence interval values. Right? So, okay. See the confidence interval values are the lower limit. LL is lower limit and UL is upper limit. The lower limit value is 0.87, and the upper is 3.87, so 3.387. The result is significant. If the result is significant, if the lower and the upper limit ranges, is a range 0.087 to 0.387, there's a range. This particular range does not include 0, which means that this particular mediation mechanism is significant. I'll repeat it. If the upper and the lower limit, if the upper and the lower limit values, if it does not include 0 in between, then this particular mediation is significant. I hope you understand. Right? I hope you understand. Then you can say this mediation hypothesis is very useful. For somebody who don't know, I think, who are just new to research, all the direct effect has been found. If you put anything, if you want to see, suddenly you get some idea of any study on this variable. You can see Humpty number of studies we have done for last 15 years, 20 years, 10 years. Right? Now, what I'll do is I'll take these 2 variables, independent and dependent variable. I'll try to develop a model using some mediators. I'll insert some mediators in between and see how it is conceptually relevant. So I would rather have a conceptual framework and then I have a model, right? So what I will do, is I will use a mediator.
Sir.
Yes, madam.
Sir, 4 minutes left, sir.
I'll close it another 2 to 3 minutes. So this is how a mediation results has to be incorporated. This should be the table. Mediation must have. But see the other table, the other one. I don't have anything on lower limit, upper limit, no confidence interval. But if I want to report, this is a standard. This is a standard prevailing now. If you don't use it, big paper will reject. See this lower limit, and that lower limit and upper limit does not have 0. Let us have 0 in between. Now, for example, if I have minus 0.087 and assume that the value is not here 0.087, it is not plus 0.087. Instead, you remember now temporarily for understanding purpose, it is minus 0.087 to plus 0.387. If that is the case, if I have a minus value and a plus value, then that is a situation where there's a 0 in between, then my mediation is not supported. My mediation mechanism is not working, right? So this is how, include 0. Yes, if there is include 0 in the upper and lower limit, if in between, if there's a 0, then the mediation is not significant and not supported. Right? Okay. I think I have made one more thing. I just want to tell you the table for, I don't have time rather. I think I want to run on moderation, how to do a moderation, what are the different ways you can do a moderation. I have published some papers on moderation. I think I don't have time, but no, my madam is already asking. Whatever. I just want to show you. We recently.
Unmute right, sir.
Pardon me, sir?
Yeah, I am able to unmute. Right. Right. Thank you.
I'll take a minute or two, sir. Professor, kindly excuse me. Look at this paper. Huh? Look at this. This has been published last year. Been some author. No, I've been instrumental in writing the data analysis. This has been published in influence of altruism motive. I think this is worked on theory of planned behavior. Somebody asked me this just now. I think Divya. This is a paper on this. You can get it. This sustainability is an open access. You can get this paper. So you don't have to ask me this paper. Look at the moderator I use. Look at the moderator I use. Right now, I build a model. I build a model based on theory of planned behavior. Like I said to you, the job demand resource theory. This is theory of planned behavior. Is a very old, well-established theory. Right now, what is the moderator here? The moderator here is I have collected data from India and USA using Amazon Mechanical Turk, and I can able to run the model. All the relationship here are already established. I cannot publish in big paper like sustainability. Sustainability is available in Web of Science, so it's got an impact factor of close to 4 or 5. It's a decent paper. So I won't be able to publish in sustainability. But what I did, I used country as a moderator. I said India is a country of collectivistic culture, and USA is a country of individualistic culture. And I expand the story like this, and I said like this. So there is no direct effect, are not really something new. Already many people have done, but this moderation of country I've done, and then I completed the study, and I've done a lot of work in here. You can see here. This is the demographic profile of Indian versus USA, and then you can see the other thing like lambda, beta, all this. So even you can do like this. All the relationship was done already. I can think of a moderator, country as a moderator, and then I can collect samples, and then I can do it as well. Okay, I think I will now hand over to the organizer. I think I have a nice time. I think I have changed many of your perception in research. I would have edited some of your perception. Okay, we keep we read regularly and try to the extent possible, because the research is going in an exponential speed. I may not be able to track, but to a possible extent I track as well. So this mediation moderation, right? I think I now hand over to the organizer. Okay, anything is bad, please tell to me. I will correct myself, and I'll really do better in the next FDP. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for your session on mediation analysis and structure equation modeling. We actually learned more from your sessions. It was very informative. Thank you, sir, for sharing your resources. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Now I welcome Dr. K. Pravina, Organizing Secretary of this program, to start the valedictory function.
Sir, shall we start, sir?
Yes, ma'am. We'll start.
Okay, sir. Gone are the days when get trained in a profession and they would spend their entire lifetime in the same career. Today, with the nature of the job and invent of technology, one needs to upgrade oneself constantly. Otherwise, one's survival itself becomes a question. Keeping this in mind, IQAC-ANNAMALAI University is conducting this program on research methodology and data analysis for the first time. A small dot can stop a big sentence, but few more dots can give continuity. Amazing, but true. Every ending can be a new. Yes, today we are in the valedictory function of the 2-week multidisciplinary workshop on research methodology and data analysis, organized by the IQAC-ANNAMALAI University. On behalf of the IQAC, a warm welcome to all present online for the valedictory function. Now let us start the program by declaring the Spirit of God. Prayer by Professor from Music College.
Good evening, all the dignitaries, resource persons, coordinators.
நீராறும் கடலுடன் நிலமடந்து கெழிலும் சீராரும் பதனமென திகழ்பரத கண்டமிதில் தெக்கணமும் அதில் சிறந்த திராவிடனல் திருநாடும் தக்க சிறு பிறை நுதலும் தரித்தனரும் திலகமுமே அத்திலக வாசனை போல் அனைத்துலகும் இன்பமுற எத்திசையும் புகழ் மணக்க இருந்த பெரும் தமிழனங்கே தமிழனங்கே உன் சீரிலமை திறம்பியது செயல் மறந்து வாழ்த்துதுமே வாழ்த்துதுமே வாழ்த்துதுமே.
Now we have the tribute to our founder, Pro Chancellor.
தில்லை பதிவுடையார் சிற்றம்பலம் தன்னில் அல்லும் பகலும் நின்று ஆடுகின்றார் எல்லை கண் அண்ணாமலை அமைத்த கலை கழகம் கண்ணார கண்டு கழித்து நில்லாத செல்வத்தை நிலைக்க செய்தார் நீங்காத கலை புரட்சி நிரம்ப செய்தார் கல்லாத இனமெல்லாம் கற்க வைத்தார் காணாத பெரும் கழகம் களத்து வைத்தார் இல்லாத புலவர்களை இருப்போராகி இணையாத தமிழ் புகழை ஈட்டிக் கொண்டார் வெல்லாத செயலில்லை என்று போற்ற விளங்கியவள் அண்ணா மலையன் வாழ்க மணி காட்டும் கோபுரம் போல் உயர்ந்த நெஞ்சும் மழை காட்டும் அகலம் போல் விரிந்த நோக்கும் பணி காட்டும் திருக்குறளில் படிந்த வாழ்வும் பதவியெல்லாம் படி போல கடந்த பாங்கும் அணி காட்டும் தாமரையான் அடைந்த மார்பும் ஆரையுமே உறவாக அணைக்கும் கையும் பிணி காற்றும் மருத்துவன் போல் பேணும் அன்பும் பெற்ற தமிழ் முத்தையவள் பெரியோன் வாழ்க. பெற்ற தமிழ் முத்தையவள் பெரியோன் வாழ்க. பெற்ற தமிழ் ராமசாமி பெரியோன் வாழ்க. பெற்ற தமிழ் ராமசாமி பெரியோன் வாழ்க. Thank you.
சொல்லுங்க.
நான் உங்களை பார்த்து போனதுக்கு அப்புறம் அவங்க போஸ்ட்போன் பண்ணி சொல்லி
God gave us a fingerprint that no one else has. So one can leave an imprint that no one else can. Such a person of unique quality, believer in teamwork, and has a capacity to get things done is the director of our IQAC, Professor Arivude Nambi. He is a tireless worker, known for sincerity and simplicity, committed to the task assigned. Sir will now welcome the gathering. Sir, please.
Thank you, ma'am. Good evening, all the dignitaries, resource persons, coordinator of this STTP, organizing secretaries, and the participants throughout the country. Honorable Vice Chancellor of Bharatdasan University, Professor M. Selvam sir is online with very short notice, and in spite of his very busy schedule, he actually consented to offer validity address in the 2-week virtual multidisciplinary short-term training program on research methodology and data analysis. Honorable Vice Chancellor Dr. Selvam sir is the senior advisor of our IQAC, and he is the senior member of our IQAC team. He is the fatherly figure of all of us. On the behalf of IQAC and the authorities of ANNAMALAI University, I wholeheartedly welcome Honorable Vice Chancellor of Bharatdasan University, Dr. M. Selvam sir, for this validatory function.
Thank you.
Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
I wholeheartedly welcome dynamic deans of ANNAMALAI University and heads of departments of all other dignitaries who are all online today. So I welcome all the resource person who actually made this STTP grand success. Welcome all the resource persons. I welcome my own family members, Dr. S.R. Ramesh Kumar, Deputy Director IQAC, Dr. S. Karthik Kumar, Deputy Director IQAC, Dr. T. Selvamathu Kumaran, Deputy Director IQAC, Dr. K. Sanjeevi, Deputy Director IQAC, and Mr. K. Jayaprakash, Deputy Director in IQAC. And I welcome the organizing secretaries who actually toiled and moiled to conduct this STTP. So within a week time, they arranged this STTP. I welcome Dr. K. Sai Leela and Dr. K. Pravina, who actively involved in this STTP, and they complete this thing in high success. So I welcome on the behalf of IQAC. I welcome all the participants, especially 641 participants who attended 28 sessions very actively. IQAC wholeheartedly welcomes all the participants to this validatory function. On the behalf of IQAC, I welcome all the non-teaching staff of IQAC. Without their support, this would not be possible. Once again, I welcome all the dignitaries and the chief guest of this today's function and all other participants. Thank you for the opportunity given. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your welcome address. Now is the time for the feedback. Feedback helps us to improve our performance. I request the participants to unmute yourself and give feedback about this 2 weeks program.
Can I, ma'am? Ma'am?
Yes, yes.
Vanakkam. Vashmi Sundaraman, PhD research scholar in Department of Education from Indian Institute of in Gandhinagar, Gujarat. Good evening to all the dignitaries present in this virtual platform. This 2-week-long STTP on research methodology and data analysis has been an educative and informative one. A huge appreciation goes to the organizers and the technical team of Annamalai University. The program had been a tremendous help to all the attendees, and I think it has been attended by more than 600 research scholars. And Yogi observed, research is to see what everybody else has seen, but to think what nobody else has thought. This IQAC-ANNAMALAI University has provided in this program. When all others could see only around the basics of research, IQAC-ANNAMALAI University has gone beyond and given a thought what no one else has thought. Starting with basics of research from introduction, fundamentals, review of literature, and tool construction, they have steadily and gradually streamed us into the advanced level of research like statistics involved in the research, ethics, and also metrics, which is involved in the research. The 21 hours of program, which spanned around 14 days, about 28 sessions. This was a real eye-opening for all of us. So on behalf of all the participants, I extend my gratitude to all the resource persons who had gone above and beyond time and effort to provide us such wonderful sessions, sharing their expertise. They have also shared their consent and contact details to extend their help and assistance to us all researchers. So thank you for giving me the opportunity to express my respect and gratitude to all who had contributed to this STTP program. Vaipukku nandri, vanakkam.
Thank you, Subhashini Madam. The next person can unmute yourself and give your feedback.
Good evening to all the resource persons and the dignitaries on the dais. This is Deepa Kumaravelan, a research scholar from Coimbatore. So first of all, it is indeed a great STTP program. So before going to the feedback, I'd like to quote certain few words about the Annamalai University, because from the quote, it will be relieved that most valuable resources that all the teachers have is each other. Without collaboration, our growth is limited to our own perspectives. So this was the quote which I was seeing all the resource person from where they were. So it is across the across the all the university, the resource person has came here for giving their valuable time with us. So this is the most wonderful time which we had, and this is like to thank the IQAC and organizers of Annamalai University for organizing such a wonderful 2-week STP program on research methodology and data analysis. So this is the this is where the height of the Annamalai University, which they have the collaboration with all over all these states. So the second quote which I would like to dedicate and devote is the resource persons for all over the sessions. The education is not the learning of facts, but the training of mind to think. This was the quote given by Albert Einstein. So with this quote, I would like to express my sincere thanks and gratitude to all the resource persons who have given their very informative, and the way they explore to us was crystal clear. So all the session, as Subhashini Raman's earlier, she told all these sessions were very great. So to my points, I have a few words about certain sessions like how to play with data and how to explore before applying the statistical tools. So how to play with the data and what is the normality test and how to test the normality and what are the various hypothesis testings and R programming. To my knowledge, this R programming, I thought that it will be like a programming person has to do with this R programming. So the way they explore all these sessions was indeed a great and just a very crystal clear and excellent sessions. And at the outset, I am very thankful for the organizer for providing us with all the materials, the recording sessions, the PPT, etc., so that we can practice the same for our research purpose as well. So And a few things, the time management, which was an excellent side which the organizers had made it. So every sessions were started and ended with all the time management. So with this.
Continue, Deepa. Some disturbance. You can continue. Thank you, Deepa. Now I request the next participant to give his or her feedback. Okay, thank you for your feedback. Okay, now we have Professor M. Selvam, Vice Chancellor of Bharathidasan University, as the chief guest for the valedictory function. Let me have the pride of introducing Professor M. Selvam. Sir, he is Vice Chancellor of Bharathidasan University. He has 4 decades of experience in teaching and administration. I'm happy to inform that he is an alumnus of ANNAMALAI University and is a university rank holder. Passed his civil service exam in first attempt. He has served in various capacities, starting from lecturer to the present Vice Chancellor. He is holding several positions like during his academic career, like Senate member, syndicate member, member of the planning board, dean of research, member of the board of studies, IQAC coordinator in the new education policy, nodal officer in ASH, that is All India Service of Higher Education. His international experience runs to around 2 years as a professor of management in Modern College of Business and Sciences in Muscat, Sultanate of Oman. He has attended conference in Dubai, that is in Higher Education Promotion Summit. He has attended 4 international conferences in USA, in Texas, California, Minnesota, and St. Louis. Under his able guidance, SAR has produced 12 PhDs. His research publication stands at 110. Conference papers presented at 50. Books published to 130. Conference has been organized by him, and he has delivered 250 inaugural valedictory address, thematic address at various conferences at national and international level. He is serving as a member in the national and international institutions. On behalf of IQAC, a warm welcome to you, sir, for this valedictory function. Your presence on this occasion is a source of inspiration and motivation to all the participants. So such a person of high academic caliber is here to deliver the valedictory address. Sir, please.
Good evening. Hope I am audible.
Yes, sir.
Fine, fine. It's a great day for me. For the organizers, I think this is the end of 2 weeks of your program. 14th day or 15th day, you have to tell. So the program is a great program. Any number of times we conduct this kind of programs, there used to be still a research gap, still a caliber building gap. So that has to be attended to, and you are attending to that. And before I proceed along this line, I have to, at the first, place my regards to your Vice Chancellor, the present Vice Chancellor of ANNAMALAI University. I had my studies in ANNAMALAI University 1977 to 79, my MCom, 80 to 84, my PhD. Before submitting my PhD, I joined University of Madras as a lecturer. Generally, I completed my research work, that is submission of dissertation. And from that day onwards, my bonding with ANNAMALAI University used to be very, very fine, great, memorable. This university is celebrating its, is moving towards 100th year very soon, maybe in a couple of years or so. A university with rich credentials, with a rich alumni spread all over the 6 continents, very rich alumni. So we are very proud of those alumni. And I also know that this university, about some 10 months ago or something like that, it brought together all the alumni in the rest of the world on a platform like this, online platform, honored them. So these are all certain niceties of this university. And I should also say that in India now the trend is towards going for uni-faculty university. Whereas this is the only university true to its name, universe, with the 10 different faculties. With such kind of diversity, the learning is to be great, because we cannot have all the 360 degrees of any knowledge by confining to just one faculty. Whereas with multiple faculties, there used to be a lot of cross transfer of knowledge. And that is what is required. And that is happening in this university. So that's the fineness of this university I am proud of. And of course, its place, that is Chidambaram. Chit plus Ambalam. Chidambaram, the cosmic dancer, Lord Nadaraja. He has been constantly pouring all his blessings upon that university, situated some 2 kilometers east or southeast of the temple concerned. So thereby, this university is having all the greatness. Anywhere in this world, if you tell this name, there will be somebody to, yes, that university I know, we know. So that's a greatness. I was brought into some closer contact with this university some 2.5 years ago, as its senior advisor to internal quality assurance cell. Yes, quality is a thing that we had to be very conscious about. A kind of total quality management is required. Any educational institution should ensure that all its domains, administration to academics to research, and the curriculum and all such things. I think NAC has beautifully placed this into 7 criteria. So each of these criteria we have to address carefully. And with my association, I could say that this university has ensured it has great credentials in all the 7 criteria, and it is expecting its NAC team to visit in about 1.5 months' time. I hope by now this university would make certain finer touches here and there and present itself very neatly before the visiting NAC team. I pray the Almighty, especially Lord Nadaraja and Goddess Subhama Sundari, to bless this university with great scores. And coming to this short-term training program, STTP. STTP in research, data analysis and all that. So this is a topic here again and again we are speaking in almost every university is doing 2-day program, 1-day program, weekly program, like that. Yet, well, perhaps a lot of areas we have to traverse. And I think there is a problem of, heterogeneity in the audience. There are scholars who are at the top end or comfortable in their language, comfortable in the subject, comfortable with the statistical tools and all that. On the other end of the paradigm, you find people who are less endowed in one or more of these requirements. Therefore, when we conduct programs like that, the speaker would be in a great difficulty, whether he has to address that end or this end or go by the, the middle. That has the problem. Because I see, we all know that a PhD, doctorate of philosophy. So the knowledge has to be of a supreme order, a really great order. That's what is required. Whereas when you look at the title, I used to look at the title first. Whether the title is great, would it remain green all the decades to come? Is it an enchanting one? Is one that would send a kind of forceful current over the persons who hear it? Such a kind of, a title that sends one's thinking beyond one's imagination. That's what is required, therefore the title. And I used to say that the title cannot be, people who enrolled for PhD, they have to come with the title. Usually they think of titles from theses that have already been submitted. I used to say you cannot find a great titles from works that have been already submitted because works have been done. What you are going to do on that? So therefore, you have to think of elsewhere. So do some kind of a research reconnaissance, and then you think of a title. So it might take 6 months, 8 months. You will land on a great title. Otherwise, people take this title, that title, change the name of the place, name of the institution. So whether that could be a great rise, that would be a great title, cannot be. This is what is happening. So in such context, a program like this would make us take this matter to the budding researchers, because research is not a small thing. It has, as Madam has put, research is to see what everyone else has seen, but to think that nobody else has thought, did, like that. That is what is required. So you have to think beyond the already existing knowledge. So you cannot replicate research just like that, because maybe there is only difference in the place or the institution about which you are studying, but content-wise, things may be the same. So in this context, I used to tell that if you are searching for a topic in the social science area, management, commerce, sociology, etc., including to some extent even science topics, as well as literary topics, especially in English. If you scan daily newspapers, be it Economic Times, Financial Express, or Hindu, Business Line, Business Standard, general newspapers, you will get plenty of titles, plenty of titles. A day's newspaper will give you at least 1 dozen new research titles. Whereas people are not looking into that. They have They search for title where titles are not there. Titles are here. Actually, when I was doing my research in Annamalai University, for the first 6 months, I was just looking for. But at that time, my professor, Dr. M.M. Matthew, used to get great magazines from abroad, United States. The Economic Impact, that was a great journal. And in that journal, there was an article, Tourism, the Limitless Industry. I thought this is a great title, I can work on that. My professor also read that article, but he kept himself mum because he wanted me to open myself first. After a couple of days, sir, I read this. I got some interest in this. Selvam, this is the thing I was thinking of you, but I wanted you to speak on that first. Then that's how I got the title. So therefore, plenty of titles are available. But whereas when we get to cover bundles and bundles of theses, we find out titles which are worn out. So this is a kind of thing. Therefore, I am telling the research scholars, online, offline, wherever, you think of titles from great sources, not from works that have already been done. So that is one thing. Another, this thing, your statistics. So we must have a love for mathematics. We must have a love for quantitative techniques. Unless you have that kind of attachment to numbers, we cannot decode any number that you are getting. When you have such kind of bonding with the numbers, your mind will work, your subconscious mind will work, and it will come with a greater metrics for measuring the kind of problems that you want to measure in your research. If you're totally removed from that kind of the world of mathematics, the world of numbers, then it's very difficult. You will find an innovative method of, metrics for measuring certain things, because that is required. Therefore, now, even now I come across research papers which simply gives a description of sample. When you meet 200 people, 300 people, 500 people, you can classify into some 10 or 1 dozen categories, like your education, your age, your gender, your this and that. About 15 such classification, we can do that. They think this is the research. If this is the research, of course, we cannot use the word like that. So whereas I used to tell from the day when I started guiding, the sample description should be just 1 page affair, just a 1 page affair. But whereas from that you take relevant data, you link with other aspects of the research. So that's the kind of thing you have to do. This itself is not research. This itself cannot be a paper, research paper. I come across people submitting such papers, and there are magazines to publish that also. And of course, very quickly, such magazines are removed from the care list. No care, who cares? That's the kind of thing. Therefore, research scholars must be conscious of their requirement. Anything that is available next door cannot be research. What is not available anywhere and you work on that, that is research. So therefore, it starts with the kind of tools you apply. And another this thing, univariate analysis, bivariate analysis, multivariate analysis. So no problem in this world, no research problem in this world is capable of being expressed in terms of univariate analysis, not even bivariate analysis, because everything is multivariate. Not only multivariate on one's dependent, independent variable side, it is also multivariate on the dependent variable side as well. That means you have to think of something like a canonical correlation, because on either side you have variables, a bunch of variables. All such bunch of variables, you have to put it into certain numbers, and we have the finer kind of things like the linear combinations. So only such kind of thing, just like that we cannot learn unless we have the drive for learning and the thirst for learning. So therefore, I would like to suggest all universities to think of having a high level of statistical techniques for research scholars. Actually, when I moved from University of Madras to Arahapa University, within 6 months' time, I introduced one paper. I had the privilege and freedom to introduce whatever I wanted. For 3 decades, I could do that in that particular university. That is research methodology techniques, exclusively techniques. Exclusively techniques, not the theory part, that is another paper. Exclusively techniques. So I could take the students to the highest level of multivariate analysis. So this is a kind of thing required. I mean, people may say that this is statistics, I can get it done from this and that. You get it through SPSS, do it, but you must know what you are doing. Unless you know what you are doing, you cannot see the hidden knowledge behind in those numbers. Therefore, we should have the capability of doing as understand the concepts involved. Therefore, SPSS, people are simply using SPSS. They give lots of data, but no sense in that. Therefore, you have to bring the sense from the data. You have to make the data to speak. And that requires a lot of understanding about this thing. And also, I used to tell people that to appreciate statistics, you also need to have some knowledge of algebra. Some basic algebra is required. So, and of course, we can extend it. Matrix algebra and all such things we can think of. See, when a research scholar is preparing for his research, he should also simultaneously prepare for competitive examination also, because all competitive examinations have good lot of mathematics. For example, you take the civil services examination. So in all the papers, they have certain mathematical components. So they put it because the mind must be sharpened with mathematics. That's the kind of emphasis they are giving over there. Therefore, the statistical analysis with elementary calculus with a comfortable level of algebra and some knowledge of geometry also. Therefore, I mean, we know finally algebra is finally converted into geometry at certain level. So therefore, that's a kind of relationship that exists. So this will help in doing your research. That's what it's not. And I don't say that this is a different dimension. All such things that you learn there, you can bring it to a research. Then your research becomes a great research. And of course, your language. If anybody commits a language mistake, everybody can find a mistake in your work. Only a person who knows the subject can comment on the quality of your subject-related findings. But anybody who is comfortable with the language can very easily find mistakes in thesis if they have committed a mistake. Therefore, a comfortable level of language skill is required. As a research scholar, he or she must be able to see the finer things, must be able to read in between the lines. In between them, there is only empty space, but empty space might reveal a lot of things. So that means you have to have that discerning brain. So research scholars must think, read a lot, whatever a piece of paper that comes on his or her hand, just to go through that. You may have some ideas in that paper also that had accidentally landed on your hand. Therefore, the thirst for learning must be there. And also, researchers must also read, irrespective of your discipline, good lot of literature. Good lot of literature is so, I mean, one's own mother tongue or any other language that one has endeared to. So from there also we get a lot of ideas. So therefore, when we, of late, there is a quantitative growth in the research. People used to say that when there is a quantitative explosion, perhaps the quality may take a backseat. I think it will take, unless you are so conscious of ensuring such quality. So in that case, the quality of the work is simply the inverse of the number. People may say like that. So we should not get such kind of branding. That is, then the inverse of the number is the quality of your work. If somebody says you should get very much hurt, that should not happen. So we need both quality as well as quantity. That requires a lot of work. That requires a lot of work. So a lot of work means you should work for longer hours. As research scholars, you cannot afford to sleep more than 6 hours. So such kind of commitment is required. Then only you can stand as a shining star in the world of knowledge. So therefore, I hope in the 2 weeks' time, all the great speakers would have thrown a vast amount of knowledge on that. Before I conclude, we have in Tamil a verse written by one of the greatest devotees, I mean, the person who merged with Lord Shiva himself, not necessarily Lord Shiva, it is with Lord Nadaraja himself at Chidambaram. It was Chidambaram, Lord Nadaraja wrote what that great saint was telling. Then he has put the signature. This was dictated by him. I wrote, Lord has put his signature. So in that Siva Purana, we call it, there is several, it runs into 95 lines, a couple of lines will take. Vedangal Ayya Yena Vongi Arndu Ahandra Nunniyane. I used to say, I used to look at the Sabranam, the whole of 95 lines. It can be clearly put into 3 categories. One, the quality of a researcher, that's Lord Nadaraja. The qualities of the researcher, that is in terms of Manika Vasakar, the person who wrote the Tiruvasakam, and the rest of things research. The rest of the research. If you approach in that line, we can beautifully find it. You can just classify like that in 3 dimensions like that. And the research side, I could say that this I just now I told you, Vedangal Ayya Yena Vongi Arndu Ahandra Nunniyane. That means research must be the highest of the highest, the deepest of the deepest, the broadest of the broadest, and finally, the finest of the finer thing. That is the research. So this is a kind of message. This is what I told you. If you read literature in your own language or any language for that matter, you will get finer ideas how you can take your research, make your research great. So in this way, so any research must explore to the maximum with a lot of fundamentals in support and related things brought in. And ultimately, what you wanted to research, that is the subtleties of research, the finer aspects of research, the focus of a research, that is nunium, that is the nanoparticles, if you want, the nano aspects of research. So that way, a researcher needs to have great thirst for learning from whatever source, anything and everything that you learn, consciously or unconsciously, will definitely help in making your research a great work. So with these words, I have to also thank all my colleagues with the IQAC. Annamalai University is my university. I have to tell like that because they love me so much, I love them so much. So such a kind of affection we have. So I'm so proud that this IQAC, internal quality assurance cell. And I have to define quality before I complete. What is quality? I think as a managing professor, I can give you 12 definitions, like fitness for use, meeting the specifications, customer delight, and all that it can go. But these are all definitions given by Westerners. Is there any definition available from our own literature I was thinking of? Then I got one verse from, I am speaking from Tiruchirappalli. Tiruchirappalli is a great town and many people might be knowing that. And there is a temple that is devoted to Lord Shiva by name Thayumana Swamigal. Okay. And that one of the great Saivat preachers done a great thing. That is Jnana Sambandhar I am referring to. And he addresses the Lord Nadaraja as, Lord Thayumana Swami of Tiruchirappalli as Nandrudayani, Thiyadillani, Narai Velliru Vandudayani, Umayoru Bhagamudayani, Sendradaya Tiruvudayani, Chirappalli Kundudayani Kura, in Ullam Kulirume. I just take the first 3 words and the last 2 words. In between, I can relate with quality, but not right now. What is quality? Quality means, or quality is equal to presence of virtues, Nandrudayani, plus absence of vices, Thiyadillani. That's all. This is the definition I wanted. Presence of virtues plus absence of vices. Presence of values plus absence of viruses. We talk about virus. Therefore, we can add if you want. Okay. With this, what we will have? We get delighted. In Ullam Kulirime, that means you get that your heart gets that greater feeling. That is, this is what the delight. In between, I could see in that particular verse, I saw the total quality of management I could see in that. TKM, the entire TKM, I could see in that, and I had deduced that, and except one particular thing, not that link. Again, if you think, in the dream, you will get a clue. So that way, ultimately, I got that particular clue also, and I could make it, oh, this is the total quality management that Jnana Sambandhar has done for while praising Lord Shiva of Tiruchirappalli. So therefore, through literature, we get great ideas. So any researcher must know his or her subject thorough, first thing. Then must be good in their language. Every day we have to improve our language. We have to add on to our vocabulary and style of writing and all that. And a good amount of statistical knowledge coupled with some geometry, some amount of geometrical knowledge, some algebra knowledge, some calculus, all these things are required. And multivariate analysis, there is no escape from multivariate analysis, and high-end multivariate analysis are there. And we cannot simply depend on SPSS. We must know what SPSS is doing. I get the output, but you must know how it has come out, how this could be interpreted. Then your research will be great. And research papers, you have to think. If you read somebody's work and you think that this kind of thing I can also write, this fellow has perhaps taken a couple of days ahead of me, therefore he has written. So if similar idea you get, perhaps a writer is in you. The writer in you must be made to come out. This is how I started writing since 1986, maybe some 60 or 70 articles in newspapers, Economic Times, the Financial Express, the Hindu, Economic, Business Line, also things. This is how I got the idea. Oh, that person has written, but similar ideas I have, I can also write. I wrote, a couple of times they written. Later they started accepting my papers. Therefore, if you read great works, we also become a great person. We can also contribute. So there is no shortcut. There is the due process. Research is not a long jump or high jump. Just now, one of my physical education professors just sneaked into my room. Therefore, I am using this. So research is not long jump or high jump. It is a process. You have to go the steps. It requires some time, 3 years time, 4 years time. Then we can do good work. So I thank you, all of you, for the opportunity. Thank you so much. And Arivade Nambi, a good friend, happened. So many other friends. I place my regards to all of you, including our Vice Chancellor, Registrar, Controller, and everyone is our friend. Everyone is greatly attached to me. I am attached to them as well, and the organizers. Thank you.
So thank you, sir, for your good words for our university and motivating address, highlighting the significance of research, use of proper language in research, how to interpret the data and add meaning to the data using statistical techniques. Thank you very much, sir. It was very informative. Now, a person known for simplicity and practical in his approach, an expert in the field of infographics, is Professor Ramesh Kumar, Department of Horticulture and Deputy Director of IQAC. Sir will now express gratitude. Sir, please.
Very good evening, everyone who has joined with us in this online platform. And it's really it's my duty, bound duty, to thank everyone for successfully completing this particular short-term training program on research methodology and data analysis. And actually, before thanking, there is a very auspicious and very happy coincidence today. Actually, we would like to congratulate on behalf of the IQAC-ANNAMALAI University.
Thank you, sir.
Our Professor Dr. M. Selvam, sir, for successfully completing the one-year term of his Vice Chancellorship. And it's really a great coincidence, and really we are blessed with you, sir, today.
Actually, on 4th of February 2021, I reached Lord Nataraja temple with my order at 10:15. The temple was open, 10:15 p.m. Okay, carry on.
On that same day, we were with you in Chidambaram, sir, and it's really a nice coincidence. And on behalf of the IQAC, I would like to place our gratitude and thanks to Professor M. Selvam, Vice Chancellor of Bharatdasan University, who have been inspiring personality for us, for the IQAC team here. And we really thank you for your august presence and the very valuable lecture, which is inspiring to every young mind who joined with us in this platform, sir. We thank you very much, sir.
Thanks, sir.
And we would like to place our record of thanks to our Vice Chancellor, Dr. R.M. Kadiresan, sir, and who has been the guiding force for us, and who has been an inspiration, and who is a teacher of everyone in this IQAC. And we really thank you for all your guidance, support, and allowing us to explore these new quality initiatives. We thank you very much, sir. And it gives me immense pleasure to thank our director, Dr. S. Arivade Nambi, the director of IQAC, who has been the guiding force for us, and who is a constant worker, who actually we really inspire you, sir, with your hard work and strategic decision making. And with your support, we could able to complete this research methodology and data analysis training program in a grand manner. We thank you very much, sir. And most importantly, all our coordinators, Dr. T. Selvamuthu Kumaran, Dr. S. Karthik Kumar, and Dr. Sanjeevi, who had been with us in every activity which is related to research, this particular STTP program. And the real heroes behind the successful conduct of this particular STTP is Mr. K. Jayaprakash, and who is the presently Deputy Director of IQAC, and Dr. Sai Leela Madam and Dr. Pravina Madam, who had been spending their valuable time, even personal time, and their interest and their all efforts they have put, and without their involvement, this program would not have been a reality today. And on behalf of IQAC team and every participant and every one of us, we would like to place our gratitude and thanks to the organizing secretaries, Dr. K. Jayaprakash, Dr. K. Sai Leela ma'am, and Dr. K. Pravina ma'am. We thank you, ma'am. And it's working force behind the successful conduct of this particular program is our non-teaching staff who are toiling with us every day in this office. And we thank every one of you for all your support and help rendered to during this program duration. And we thank our professor, assistant professor of music, Dr. Rajesh, who has been with us for every function and for every activity of IQAC, and who is the ace remark maker, or whose presentation is is the it's a good omen, because with this prayers only we start every program, and with this prayers only we start all validatory functions. And we thank you very much for your ready acceptance to come over here and give your performances. Thank you, sir. And we would like to thank all our authorities and university officers, the registrar of our Annamalai University, Dr. K. Sitaraman sir, and the controller of our university, Dr. M. Prakash sir, and all deans who have academic deans who have supported our program and who have helped us in every moment when we approach for all official proceedings of this particular program. And we would like to thank the most important heroes of this function, this program, that is the our participants, because the participants are the real stakeholders who are making the program, any training program, successful. Without their involvement and without their contribution, no program will become a successful program. And we could able to grasp how much of interest they have shown by these participants from their feedback, and particularly by Subhashini Raman ma'am and Deepa ma'am and many others who have positively responded with their mail remarks. We really thank you for your active participation, and it gives us really encouragement to further move with more programs of very innovative kind. So you are the inspiration for us to further propel our activities. We thank you all participants. And another most important stakeholders of this program is all the resource persons. And why? Because as learning has to be taken place in a program, then there should be a teaching that is fulfilling the requirement of learning process. So for this fitting learners, the all academicians who have supported as resource persons have really justified them with their content, and justified with their delivery, and justified with their all teaching aids and concepts. Sir, really it has been many topics discussed here are really ace topics, and they were giving a new paradigm of idea to the participants. So with these thanks remarks, we will be concluding this function. Thank you one and all.
Thank you, sir. Now an important announcement to the participants. The participants, you can continue with the WhatsApp group till you get your certificate. You'll be getting your certificate in 10 days time. And there a Telegram app will be, a link will be sent to you. You please join the Telegram so that all the IQAC programs will be listed there. You can join them and get benefited. Two things, you will be getting your certificate in 10 days time. Till then, you remain in the WhatsApp group because the information will be given in the WhatsApp group. Second information is the Telegram link will be sent to you. You please join the Telegram so that all the programs of IQAC of Annamalai University will be listed out there. You can join if you're interested. I'm sure you will join. Okay, then let's conclude the program with the national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंधु गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्छल जलति तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभाशिष मागे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे.
Thank you all for your participation and making this event a grand success. Keep in touch with us for further programs. Thank you. Thank you, one and all.